So below me, we have every single Premier League summer signing from the top 10 finishing clubs. Well, I say every single, I mean, not every single like kid that Chelsea signed, every single player that was signed to play from the top 10 clubs in the Premier League. I would have done the whole Premier League, but that would have taken ages. And we're going to rank them individually into signings of the season, which is only going to be 5 max, my 5 best signings of the season. Great signing, showing potential, expected more, and then flop/injured, because a lot of the players that are going on flop aren't flops because they've basically been injured all season. So you're probably wondering, Alice Talks More Football, what is this? This is just a new channel where I'm just going to do random trivia videos that don't make the main two channels. Main channel was Manchester United only. Second channel was transfer news and match reactions. This is going to be more trivia based. Like maybe my next video will be one player each Premier League club should sign, and I'll actually do one for all 20 clubs. But let's start with it, and we're going to start with, you know what, Mason Mount can go and flop/injured because that's a very easy one. I think he would have been better had he stayed fit. And I mean, I didn't think Manchester United should have signed him in the first place. When we did sign him, I was a bit like, oh, I think we need more of a Declan Rice, more defensive profile. But I said, do you know what, Eriksen isn't really doing it at the moment, so let's go for it. Has been disappointing, but has basically been injured the whole season. We're going to go to one that's going to make my top 5, which is going to be Mickey van der Ven. I've got, I think, 5 names that I know I'm going to put in there, but that might chop and change. I think Mickey van der Ven's got to be up there as signing of the season. You could put him in great signing because of the injuries and Spurs not having the best defensive record, but Spurs' poor defensive record, I think, comes more from other issues rather than like actually Romero and van der Ven have probably been their 2 best players, and they still concede a lot of goals because it comes from midfield and structural issues. I'm going to go with Moises Caicedo. I'm going to put him in showing potential. You know, I think a lot of people would put him in flop and expected more. And yeah, I think we did expect more for 100 million, but I think he was starting to show potential. We're starting to show, you know what, this is looking like a good signing. And while I don't think he'll be a 100 million player, he was definitely saying in his last couple of games, like, look, I'm not bad. I think Moises Caicedo, had he been a 40 million signing, people would be saying, you know what, this has been a good deal for Chelsea. If you know me, I'm not very good at pronouncing names, but this is the Greek guy that West Ham signed from Stuttgart, and I'm going to put him in expected more because I don't think he's been great. To be honest, James Ward-Prowse, people might disagree with me on this, but I mean, did I expect more from James Ward-Prowse? Probably not. Was he okay? Did he show potential? I guess. I'm going to put him in expected more, though. I don't think he's that good. People disagree with me on that. Just don't think he's that good. Amrabat's definitely going expected more. To be fair to Amrabat, like most of the time when he's played, he's been all right, and he's been played out of position, he's been injured, and he's been played when he's not fully fit. But I expected more. You know, I was really behind Man United signing Amrabat, and it just did not happen. We're going to move over to a Liverpool name, and we're going to go to Szoboszlai, who at the beginning of the season would have easily gone in great signing of the season, but it's massively dropped off towards the end of the season. But he is a young kid, so I'm going to put him in showing potential. I think you could put him in great signing, to be fair, as well, because he was so good at the start of the season. But because he dropped off a little bit, I'm going to put it in showing potential / great signing, but he's going to be near the top of that one as well. One player that, again, is showing potential, but I wouldn't put in great signing, is probably Doku. I mean, I'm not the biggest rater of Doku, but again, he's such a kid that I'm going to put him in showing potential. Expected more is going to be Kovacic. I think he easily goes in expecting more for me. And another player I'm probably going to put in expected more is Nunes. I thought Nunes was going to be a really good signing. I was kind of annoyed because I wanted him at Manchester United, but he hasn't been great. You know what? I'm going to put Szoboszlai in great signing. And I know he's dropped off a bit, but I do think he'll be a great signing. I'm going to move him up one because I think he's had a little bit of a better season than Caicedo. Going into the next position, I believe this is Guardiola. And I'm going to put Guardiola on showing potential. Second half of the season, Guardiola goes in great signing, like how Szoboszlai goes in great signing first half of the season. But he wasn't great to begin with, but he definitely showed potential of what he can do. Actually, no, you know what? He is a great signing. He will be a great signing. I think Szoboszlai and Guardiola, we could put in showing potential because, like Caicedo, they had one good half of the season, one poor half of the season. But I do think overall they showed that they're probably going to be good signings. So I'll probably put them in the great signing category. Okay, let's go into the next position, which is the easiest one on the list, Cole Palmer. It's got to be up there for signing of the season. He is my signing of the season. I'm putting 5 names in signing of the season, and I think Cole Palmer walks into that position. We're going to go with a Villa player here. We're going to go with Diaby. I think Diaby was showing potential. He's a little bit, I expected maybe a little bit more from him because I thought it was a brilliant signing and he has been decent. But I think Leon Bailey has been Villa's best winger, but he's definitely showing glimpses of potential. Same with Lewis Hall. You could put Lewis Hall and expected more because maybe I did expect him to play a little bit more of a damper, but that's not Lewis Hall's fault. Eddie Howe, I think, should have played him more, but when he has played, he's been good. And I argue he's been showing potential. One player I'm going to put in great signing is Endo, and potentially if I can't think of 5 for my top 5 signings, he could move up from great signing to signing of the season, especially when you think of the 16 million they paid. I think Endo goes in great signing, and another name that's going to go in great signing is Doggy. Now, Doggy was technically brought last year, but he only played for Spurs this year, which is why I'm including him in this list of names. A player that is going to go in showing potential, but would have been signing of the season for the first month would have been Maddison, and then he would have gone into great signing. I think you have to put him in showing potential just because he dropped off. Just because he's dropped off a little bit. But then I think you could also put him in great signing because arguably I do think it's been a great signing. It's like Soboslai started well, fell off a cliff. I'm going to put him in showing potential, but I do ultimately think it's a great signing. And maybe that's a little bit of recency bias there. I think 40 million, he will definitely be a good signing. Axel Disasi, I expected more. I don't think he's been particularly good. Solomon, I think, has just been injured the whole season. And Cuckoo's just been injured the whole season, hasn't he, to be fair to him. Pau Torres has looked like a pretty good signing. I think Villa have done quite smart business there. Yuri Tielemans is showing potential. He didn't start a lot to begin with, but now he's getting more minutes. He's showing that he's a decent signing. Edson Alvarez definitely showing potential as well. He's one of the better ones and showing potential. I'm trying to put like the better names and showing potential towards like the closer to the showing potential side, towards the left. And I think Edson Alvarez and Maddison are the better of the two in there. Kudus has to go in great signing. That might make my top 5 at the end of the video. I think Kudus has been unbelievable. It's so annoying that he was at Ajax and, you know, there was Anthony and Kudus and we decided to spend double the amount of money on Anthony. I don't know why. Johnny Evans is going a great signing because, well, he's like 36, so I can't really put him in showing potential. He was signed on a 1-year deal, so he can't show potential. He's not going to be here next season for 3. When we signed Johnny Evans, and I had like a bit of a like, why are we signing Johnny Evans? Like, he's been relegated with Leicester. But when you look at, he was 3, he was only here for a year, he did his job. I think you have to put him in. You know what? It wasn't a bad signing. I mean, to be honest, it was probably a decent signing. I should probably added a category between great signing, showing potential, which is like decent, because I think showing potential is more with younger players. But we move. Højlund again is easily showing potential. He's up there with Maddison. I mean, I think Højlund, Maddison, Edson Alvarez, Caicedo will all be great signings. But I mean, Højlund 15 goals this season with no service. If he scores in the FA Cup final, that could go up. No player aged 21 or under has more goal contributions in the Premier League, despite limited service. All his goals he kind of makes for himself. Like, if you don't rate him, you don't know football. Like, he is good. He's just stuck at Man United, the poor kid, not getting much service, not getting much help. Let's go over to do some Liverpool players. McAllister instantly going into signing of the season there, and Declan Rice instantly going into signing of the season. Do I need to explain that? I mean, Declan Rice is phenomenal. No one's questioned his price tag. You know, if Arsenal spend 100 million on a player, like, anyone's going to find any reason to put them down or hate on them. The fact that no one has questioned his price tag, the fact that everyone is admitting he is mint, it just says it all. Because Arsenal, Manchester United, and Liverpool, they're like the 3 clubs where, you know, rivals want to put their signings down like that and troll, but they couldn't with Declan Rice. I mean, Alexis McAllister, 35 million, definitely been better in the more advanced roles, but the fact that he's played as a 6 and played so well as a 6 is impressive. And then in those more advanced roles, he has been really, really good for Liverpool. I think probably between him and Van Dijk for their player of the season. I think particularly when him and Endo had that little run, you could see, wow, this guy could unlock a game. I mean, he was phenomenal as well. So he's definitely going and signing of the season, which means I have one more name to go and signing of the season, which means someone from the great signing category may move up, and one of those names could be Vicario, Kudus, Endo are definitely those names in the great signing category that are massively sticking out for me. I mean, Vicario, I mean, I wasn't too familiar with him. He's had a really good season for Tottenham. Yes, he gets pushed around at corners a little bit. Yes, there's a few weaknesses, but when you think of value for money, when you think of, you know, it's particularly how many times he's made key saves, I think he's got to be a great signing. Nicholas Jackson again is going and showing potential. I think Nicholas Jackson and Højlund are 2 names that have sort of been put down a bit, but Højlund's kind of the opposite. Højlund, when he gets a chance, like Bosch, he takes it and he's clinical. Nicholas Jackson's all-round play is really good, but he misses chances. But they're both young players that are definitely showing, these can be good Premier League strikers. I think Nicholas Jackson has the same amount of goals as Højlund this season in 15. I think Højlund, or he has one more goal than Højlund, but more minutes played, something like that as well. So I think he's been decent, actually. I think people trying to make out his rubbish are just silly people as well. Lavia's got to go and flop/injured. He's been injured all season. I think he played 60 minutes this season, which is crazy. I mean, I really wanted him at Manchester United. Glad we did not do that. Livramento definitely showing potential. I mean, he's been class when he's played. To be honest, I'm going to put him in great signing, which might, because I know he's not played lots because of injuries, but I think when he has played, he's shown that this is a great signing. I think he's just that level ahead of Lewis Hall because he's played a bit more minutes. Harvey Barnes has basically been injured all season. But when he has played, he's showed potential. So to be fair, we'll put him in the showing potential category. Harvey Barnes. Tonali is going in the flop/injured/suspended category. Sanchez, I expected more from him. I mean, I never really rated the Brighton goalkeeper, and I thought Chelsea could look at better keepers. I always thought Chelsea should have gone for David Raya over him. I always thought David Raya was the better of the two keepers. But Chelsea opted for Davinson Sanchez, and, Petrovic has shown him up, who I should have added to the list. Petrovic probably would have been on the list above. Brennan Johnson's definitely showing potential. Not the finished product yet, but I think there could be a good signing there for Spurs in Brennan Johnson. Which brings us into a few names left, and it's mostly Arsenal players. Kai Havertz has got to go in, great signing. 65 million was a lot of money, or 60 million, can't remember. But Arteta, fair play to him, he's made it work. Jurriën Timber's got to go in the injured category. I mean, Jurriën Timber, I said at the beginning of the season, was my prediction for signing of the season. So, I thought he would be a great signing. I believe he still will be a great signing, but he's not played. Gravenberch has had good games, had bad games. He's 21, I believe. So we're going to put Gravenberch in the showing potential category. Hear me out. I think Andre Onana has been a lot better for Manchester United than people think. Would I say Andre Onana has been a great signing? No. If there was a good signing category, I'd put him in there. I'm going to put him in showing potential. Like Caicedo, I think social media has made out Caicedo's been really bad, but when you've watched Caicedo, he's been good. Social media has made out Andre Onana's been really bad because he was really bad in the Champions League. He was really bad in the Champions League and made mistakes, but actually in the Premier League, he's been quite good as well. And then David Raya, I would put in great signing as well. I think he's a lot better than Ramsdale, which means we've got 4 names in signing of the season. I said I'd put 5 names in, and I'm almost going to order this in a row of who I think's been the best signing. So I think Cole Palmer's been the best signing. McAllister, just because you're thinking value for money. Rice, then Van der Ven. I think you could put Endo in there for 16 million. Kudus in there because he's been unbelievable for West Ham. Or Vicario. It's a difficult one. I'm probably going to go Endo because of how much he was slated. No, you know what? We've got one from each club. Let's put Kudus in there because it's a different club. Kudus in there. I think great signing. We've got Vicario, Endo. I think the doggy definitely goes up there as well. Pau Torres and David Raya are up there. I'm trying to order this in like a better order here as well. So I think definitely these are the great signing category. The showing potential category, I think put Maddison there because he was unbelievable at the beginning. The showing potential category, we've got a few key names here as well. And then we've got expected more. Maybe James Ward-Prowse is a bit unfair, but he's too old to show potential. Nunes and Amrabat are ones I really expected more from. And then the flop/injured. And basically all of them have been injured apart from Tonali, who's been suspended. I won't call anyone a flop after one season, actually. Believe it or not. I think it's so unfair. So it's more of the injured category. I don't think you can call anyone a flop after one season. I think it can take a year to adapt. So let me know your thoughts down below. Please do subscribe if you're new. Thank you for watching. Bye.